Hi, welcome to episode 503 of the Corner of Knit and Tea. My name is Laura. I'm also known as Fluffy Kira on Instagram and Blue Sky. I blog over at thecornerofknitandtea.com, and that's where this episode's show notes and every episode show notes will be. And I have an Etsy shop called The Corner of Knit and Tea where I sell my handspun patterns and handspun yarns and knitting patterns. Excuse me. And a little bit of a frog in my throat, and that was messing with my concentration. Hi, welcome to the first episode of 2025. It is Monday, January 6th, and I am coming to you from a very, very cold and snowy Kansas, just outside Kansas City location. Excuse me. I hope that you are doing well. The biggest news here is that we have had weather. On Friday, they started sending up the snowpocalypse. I joke it's like the floodlights and the sirens, although technically it's not sirens because sirens are tornadoes. But they started sort of sending up the warning that this weekend was going to be kind of grim. And that happens not entirely infrequently in Kansas, and very often it doesn't actually come to fruition, which does lead some people to be a little cavalier about it. But we usually try and take it seriously, and so Friday evening we went and grabbed some dinner out and then stopped by the market to stock up on things, and it was good we did. About midday on Saturday, we started our winter storm warning, and we started by getting sleet, freezing rain, ice rain. Like it was below freezing and there was precipitation, and it's not really clear what it was, other than the fact that everything got super, super icy. The highways closed, the airport closed for a while. And all of our trees are now encased in ice. And so that was Saturday. And then on Sunday, we were warned that it was going to snow quite a bit, and that the winds were going to be very high, and so there was a potential for it to be basically a blizzard and whiteout conditions. Basically, all the highways remained closed. People were encouraged to stay off the roads, and we got probably around 6 inches of snow, but I do have friends who got well over a foot. So that snow is on top of ice, which is very, very difficult to take care of. There was actually, I think everyone was okay, but there was one of the snow plows that the Missouri Services sent out actually flipped over because it was so bad. And there were a lot of abandoned vehicles. It was just not a good idea to be out. Today is Monday, and I joke that the city is closed for the day. They closed schools, they closed businesses, they closed the libraries. Everything is still closed as they work to dig out. For instance, our street, actually, it looks like since I've been here, our street got plowed. Interesting. Since I looked out the window, I've been up and running around and grabbing lunch and a few things, and I must have missed it. Our street actually did just get plowed. But up until a few minutes ago, our street was not plowed. That means that everybody got a snow day except for those of us who work from home, because there are no snow days when you work from home, which is fine. We're fine. And we were lucky in that we did not lose power or anything. So it is cold out. We are now headed into a week where it's going to be in single-digit temperatures. So I don't think the snow or ice is going to melt anytime soon. But hopefully within the next day or two, all the roads should be cleared, and we should be good to go. Kansas City is this weird mix where it gets cold and sometimes it stays very cold, and we will have a week or two often in the middle of the winter where temperatures are sub-zero. But we don't get a lot of extended ice and snow, and so like ice like that and then having like a foot of snow on top of that will actually kind of grind us to a halt for a couple days while we get things kind of under control and open again. So my guess is by tomorrow things will be much better, and I haven't heard yet whether they've closed school for tomorrow. They could call school tomorrow because it's supposed to be like single digits and single digits negative for the next few days. Like it's just supposed to be, we're in one of those polar vortex things where it's just supposed to be really, really cold. And so sometimes they call school in Kansas because it's just too cold to be outside. And for the kids who wait for the buses and they can't go out to recess and all that kind of stuff. But we shall see. So that is kind of how our week started off. We had a lovely New Year's. We did very little. We went out to dinner about 5 o'clock and then came back and watched movies. My husband was off work until the day after New Year's, so the 2nd. I worked most of last week, so it was kind of like a regular week to me, except we had a weird Wednesday holiday. And now the 6th, everybody's kind of coming back to work and things are kicking off for the new year, and work is quite busy, but I thought I would take just a little bit of time to come say hi on my lunch break and talk about things. I am very excited to tell you that I have 2 FOs. I have one project that is making good progress. I have cast on another new project, and I have the last cast on that I hope to show you today. So lots of crafty things to talk about. Not quite finished on the spinning. I'm working on plying that rainbow spin, so I should have that to show you next week, and I will show you another bit of fiber because I'll probably start working on that this week. So first of all, the tea I am drinking in my Sip Something Sinful mug. This was a gift from a friend of mine. It was a Hallmark mug, or possibly a Hallmark prototype that didn't go to mug. She used to work for Hallmark, and I am drinking spearmint hibiscus tea, which is really lovely. It sounds like a strange combination, but it's like a little bit minty and a little bit tart and citrusy, and it is herbal, so it does not have any caffeine, but it is really delightful, and I think it will perk my afternoon right up. So let's talk about what I've got going on. So my first finished object is that baby sweater that I was working on. This is the Child Sophisticate pattern by Linden Down. It is available both on Ravelry and on their website, and so my link on my website goes to their website, where I think you can PayPal it and just get the PDF. This is a really cute top-down raglan sweater. It's available in a variety of toddler and child sizes. There's a baby version, newborn baby, that is free, but if you want to get all the other versions, you have to pay for the pattern. And it is well written. It is worth it. I have knit it multiple times. It is just a really cute top-down raglan sweater with garter edging and a really nice shawl collar. And so I knit it in Blue Sky Fibers in their sweater, which is, I believe, 55% merino and 45% cotton. If not, I might have those switched. I think I got rid of the label because I finished the project. Like, I put the leftover label with the yarn in a bag in my leftover yarn bin, and so I don't have it here with me, but it was really cute. Last week I showed you the sweater knit with the sleeves. I was waiting for an extra skein to finish the shawl collar. I broke into it and finished the shawl collar, and then I went shopping for buttons, and I had been hoping for some really cute buttons, and in the absence of cute buttons, I just got fun colored buttons. So here is the finished sweater. Is that not the cutest thing ever? It's like a little grandpa style shawl collar cardigan. Let me fold this so it looks right. Little shawl collar cardigan, and the colorway is Water Slide, which is this really, really bright aqua. And I saw these, I was trying to decide what color buttons to get, and I almost ended up with like dark navy blue buttons because I thought that would be a nice contrast. I didn't want to buy anything that was super close to this color because I didn't, rookie move, I didn't bring the sweater with me when I went shopping for the buttons. So I was trying to pick a color based on what I saw in my head, and I knew if I picked anything that was even close to this, I would pick something that would completely clash. So, and I don't think they had something that was close enough to this. So I went with the orange. It almost reminds me of like duck, I don't know, like duck egg blue with duck feet. I don't know. But I thought it's really cute. I ran it through my washing machine and dryer, which the yarn advertises that you can do. It washed up beautifully. It's really soft and cozy. And now that I have shown it to you, I'm going to message Wes's cousin and get an email address, or get a snail mail address, so I can send this off. And it will go off to him and his grandson. And that one will be done. So I'm really pleased with that. That's kind of my first FO for January because, well, I guess, was it the last thing I did? No, I think I did it on New Year's Day. I think I finished on New Year's Day, and I know I washed and sewed the buttons on yesterday. So that is the sweater. It's really cute, and I'm very excited that it's done. The second thing that I finished off was something that I really, really, really wanted to finish off in the new year, but actually I wanted to finish it off before the end of the old year, but I didn't quite make it. But I did make it for the new year, and I finished these off last night, and that is my socks. So these are the 2 at a time toe up on magic loop socks by Knit Picks, and that pattern links to the Knit Picks website on my website, so you'll be able to find that there. And I used, do I still have the label? Thought I had the label here, but I don't know. I might have tossed it. These are Freya Fine Fibers. It is her Soulmates sock set, which is 2 identical balls of yarn dyed in gradient style. The colorway is Chameleon, and it goes from this yellowy green all the way up to this tealy green. And you can see actually there that I haven't woven in the end yet. I showed these to you the wrong way. Here we go. Now you won't see the ends. I haven't woven in the ends yet. I just need to do that, but otherwise they are finished. They are all knit. These are really, really tall. They're knee socks for me. And so this is a toe-up sock, and the interesting part to me is the heel, which the slip stitch heel flap starts under the heel and then goes all the way up and over the back of the heel. And that was what made me interested in knitting them. I knit 2 pair as samples last year for, well, not even last year, in 2023 for Zen Yarn Garden. And I wanted to try it out and see how I feel. And of course I don't know yet because I literally just finished these last night, need to weave in the ends and then wash them and dry them and then pop them on my feet. But I wanted to see how that heel flap both wears and feels. I wanted to know how it would feel to have that cushy bit under my heel. And so I knit those up, and I knit these toe up because that's the pattern. And I was interested to try it with this yarn because it's these gorgeous gradient skeins, and I wanted to use up every last bit of yarn, and that is 228 yards per sock, and I wanted to use up every last little bit of the yarn so that I could get all that gorgeous gradient in there. So they're beautiful. They are super soft. They feel like they have cashmere in them. This is, it's 100% superwash Shanico merino wool, and they do not have any nylon. No, they don't have any nylon in them, but they are absolutely delectable. Delightful. I'm gonna love wearing these. So that is finished. That is one of my works in progress that was on the needles at least almost all of last year, if not longer than last year. And so I'm really, really excited to have those done. So that brings me to what I'm going to work on now, because I had 2 cast-offs, so I should have 2 cast-ons, right? I do actually want to continue working through some of my old works in progress, and I am sort of unofficially declaring January and February fix it, frog it, or finish it. Usually I do that in February, but I'm going to do it in January as well, because I have a bunch of projects that I started last year and had to abandon or put aside because of my tendinitis. And so I would really like to work on those and get them off the needles and gift them to the appropriate places and whatnot. That said, I do have a few things that I am excited about doing in the new year, and so I'm going to sort of try and combine some of those things. So one of the things that happened was when I went home for the holidays, when I went for Thanksgiving, I had knit socks for my niece and nephew, and my parents were really excited and asked if they could have new socks. And my parents almost never ask for anything knitted, and so I am perfectly pleased to do so. And so one of the things that I did was, first I finished the baby sweater, and so I decided, excuse me, I am just congested. I don't really know why. I had decided that the way that I've been knitting pretty well is to have a project in fingering weight on the needles and a project in worsted weight on the needles, and then I can switch between the two. So since I finished the baby sweater that was worsted weight, I decided to work on my dad's socks because he requested heavier weight socks. And so I went with, I think it's actually DK, but close enough. My dad is allergic to wool, and we've tried many different kinds of wool, and it has not worked, and it results in him being really unbelievably itchy. And so what I have done is I have started knitting socks for him in complete acrylic. So I know that's not everyone's preference, but that is how we've managed this, because cotton socks would just stretch out, and I don't know that they'd be that great. And I knit him a pair in Barocco Comfort last time around, and he absolutely loves them. So Barocco Comfort comes in a variety of weights, and last time I knit socks for him, I knit them in the fingering weight, but he asked me if he could have thicker socks this time. He said he wears them to bed because his feet get cold, and my dad is 78. Yeah, he's 78, and he asked for another pair because his feet get cold, and of course I'm going to oblige him. So I ordered some Barocco Comfort. I believe this is the DK weight, and this is, let's see, let me get you the, this is, it's a machine wash and tumble dry low heat which is also really important because he knows how to care for knits, but that's not his favorite thing to do. It is 50% superfine nylon and 50% superfine acrylic, and it is 210 yards to a 100 grand skein. So that is what we've got there. And because I needed just a simple pattern and he wanted some bed socks, I decided to use the Rye pattern, which I knit a whole bunch, not last year, the year before, when I did socks for Knit the Rainbow. And so I ordered 2 skeins of the Barocco Comfort in the DK in this really like forest heather colorway. And I started the Rye sock, which is a free pattern by Tin Can Knits for, it's for baby through adult sizes. I think there are 6 or 8 sizes in the pattern. And basically it is a pretty simple worsted weight sock. And then it's just got some garter. It's knit in stockinette, but it's got some garter ridges on the front of it, which just make for a nice textural detail and also kind of make the sock hug your foot. And so I really have only just started. I knit the cuff, and he told me he would like, I knit the cuff ribbing. And then he told me he would like really long, he said, can I have thicker socks than last time? And can they be taller than last time? So I am knitting him some really tall socks. I'm going to knit him probably 7 or 8 inches tall. And then I will knit the foot. I think I'm knitting the, well, so how I decided to do it was because he wanted them really tall and I don't have him here to sort of account for calf shaping. And he is roughly a medium, adult medium. So what I did is I cast on for the adult large size, and I'm going to make the leg at the adult large size, and then when I go ahead to do the foot, I'm going to go ahead and take out a couple of the extra stitches so that the foot will be more the medium size. So I think that will help the foot fit kind of snugly, but it will give him extra room at the heel, and then it will give him a tall sock, and hopefully that will be stretchy enough. If it's just a little bit oversized, it will be stretchy enough that I won't need to do any calf shaping. So that is the plan for these. I hope these will work up quickly. It would be great if I could show you a finished sock next week because my mother would also like a pair of socks and I have not cast those on. Now that I finished my socks yesterday, I now can cast on a fingering weight project, but my hope is that maybe I could finish these and send them to them for Valentine's Day. So that's kind of my goal. If I don't quite make it, that's okay, but that is what I would like to do, and it will still give them a little bit of cool weather to wear them in before they go back into like a spring and summer. So yeah. So that is what I'm doing, and like I said, I cast it on, but I don't have very much on the needles yet, and that will be kind of my focus project for a little while. So that is number 1, and I actually have a theme here because I guess I'm going to be knitting in all green for a little bit. So that is project number 1. Project number 2, I have not cast on yet because the cast on is tomorrow. Number 2, I am going to take part in a little knit along. And the reason I wanted to take part in the knit along because I want the finished object, but I was involved in the pattern. I was the tech editor for the pattern, and it is my good friend Christine who is dyeing yarn and hosting the knit along. So the pattern that I'm going to knit is Turtleneck Tube, which is a pattern by Stephanie Jabel, and this is a really cute photo of her and her girls. It's a little hard to see because I printed it in grayscale, but they are all wearing different versions of this top. This top actually originally appeared in her, I believe it was her Fitted Knits book, which was out, gosh, 12 years ago, 14 years ago, 15 years ago. I'm not even sure that it's still in print, although you would probably be able to find copies maybe secondhand. It is kind of a remake and a little bit of an update on a pattern that was in her book then, and she has added more sizing. She has expanded the sizing range on it, and then one of the other things that she has done is she has given you some design notes on how you could make it a little bit more of a vest or wear it over something as opposed to just wearing it as a turtleneck top. I think I'm probably going to do the version that's more of a fitted turtleneck top that you would wear without a shirt underneath, but I haven't completely decided. Basically, well, so I'll tell you, add a bit of sexy sophistication to your wardrobe with this turtleneck top. Layer it over a short or long sleeve tee, or be daring and wear it alone for a dressed up occasion. The form-fitting shape and dramatically deep armholes make this piece a showstopper when worn layered or alone. So that is the Turtleneck Tube. And that is available on Ravelry, and I will have to check if it's available on Stephanie's site. I will go, oh, you know what? I think she has a PayHip site. I will make sure that it is linked in my show notes, and it will link to wherever it is available that is not Ravelry, because that is how I do things. Anyway, my good friend Christine, who is Treasure Goddess Yarns, I have knit with her yarns before, she is hosting a knit along for the pattern, because it is the yarn that Stephanie used when she reformatted the pattern. And like I said, I tech edited the pattern, and then it's also with my friend Christine's yarn, and so I thought it would be a great time to knit along. Now, why I'm going to start knitting a tank top while it's single digits outside, I guess I won't be wearing it anytime soon. Anyway, the pattern calls for DK weight yarn, and so I bought some of Treasure Goddess's Yak Silk DK Treasures, which is a 60% superwash merino, 20% yak, 20% silk, and it is lovely. It is a DK weight. It's 231 yards to 100 grams, and I got it in the colorway Treasure of the Emerald Isle. So it is just a really lovely, luscious green. There are two things I love about this yarn. One is it absolutely feels luscious. It is luxurious and it drapes beautifully. But the second thing is that the yak is darker than it's not bleached the way a lot of sheep's wool is, so it doesn't start out white, and so the yarn takes the colors really, really intensely, and that is what I really, really love about her yarn. So she ends up with these deep, rich jewel tones, and I decided to go for green because what I normally do when I'm looking for a sweater quantity of something is I look for a color that I really like, and that's always going to be kind of a deep jewel tone. But then I open my sweater drawer and I look at what's in there and try and pick a color that I don't constantly use. So I have quite a few teal sweaters because teal is one of my favorite colors. I also have several like red, burgundy, wine colored. That's another area where I have a ton of sweaters. So I always try and pick something new. And obviously I don't know. I guess I have one other green sweater. I might have one other. I have at least one other green sweater, but I don't have one exactly in this color, and so I thought this would be a lovely color to start with. So the cast on is tomorrow. I don't know if they're going to do live videos or if they're going to do, well, I talked about maybe doing an Instagram video. I know that Christine is going to put out like a weekly video, and this knit along runs through January. So if you are interested, I will put, like I said, I will put links in the show notes. Because it's a tank top, it doesn't have sleeves, which means it will knit up a little bit faster. So you might actually be able to finish it in January. If I don't finish mine in January, that's fine. I just kind of wanted to knit along with the group, and it was a bit of excitement. So that is the other knit that is going on my needles. The third knit that I will kind of concentrate on, I didn't bring it this time, but I will work on my hipster top next because that's a fingering weight. And so I will be working on that as well as I try and work through my works in progress. And then once I finish, well, maybe the sweater, I don't know, but once I finish my dad's socks, I will either cast on my mom's socks or I'm going to pick up that blanket that I have, the blanket that I'm knitting my niece, and try and work on that. And I want to see how far I can get by the end of February. I have a number of goals, kind of things that I've set out for myself, goals for the new year, and I've kind of set them all to be for the first 2 months of the year. And so I'm going to see how that goes through February and kind of then take stock of where I am and decide what I want to do for the next couple months for the year. So that is kind of where I am with that. I have 2 other projects in progress. One is I am plying that yarn. And I believe that I will be done plying that yarn probably today or tomorrow, so it will be time to pick my next spin. And I don't know how quickly I will start this, but I might start it before we meet again, so I thought I would show you. When I was picking out my sweater quantity for the new, I say sweater quantity, but it's only 3 skeins because it's a tank top, and then it's like a tank, sort of a tank halter. It's got a ribbed collar and then pieces that come down kind of in a halter top and then kind of a bottom area, and it can be kind of cropped. And so it only takes 3 skeins of DK weight for my size, which I'm going to knit whatever is the closest to size 38 bust. Anyway, when I was going through her shop, she also had a little bit of fiber, and Christine doesn't dye fiber very often, but sometimes she does. And I came across this beautiful braid. It's a, and it actually, if you're seeing some semi-solid variation in there, that is exactly what it is. It is a beautiful red braid. And something about it, I really liked it. I guess it's a little bit Christmassy the way I ordered it with the green, but I decided I'm going to pop this one on my wheel next, just because it is snowy outside and it makes me think of cardinals and bright, cheery things to come. And so this is her 100% Tarkey wool, and it's 4 ounces. So not superwash, but just very, very lovely. And I think I'm going to spin that one next, and it will eventually go into the shop. I'm eager to see how it spins up, if it ends up looking all one color or if it kind of retains some of its semi-solid. We've really got like lighter sections here and darker sections here. It's a little hard to see in the light, but and the light is totally weird because it's really glary because it's bright and snowy outside. So yeah. So the last thing I wanted to show you is my Christmas stocking project. Yes, that one. I haven't forgotten about that one. So last week I showed you that I had decided to start embroidering initials on our stockings. And I sort of got this idea at the end of Christmas because my mother-in-law could not tell whose stocking was whose. And I decided that I was going to do it as my gift to myself for next year. So I have finished the first, and this is G. This is for my mother-in-law's boyfriend. His name is Gordon, and so that is his G on his stocking. And I am currently working on the second stocking, which is for my mother-in-law, and her name begins with a D. So I am doing hers in this like really royal blue that almost glows. I picked 4 different colors. I have a red, a green, a purple, and a blue. And so I am working through these, and basically what I did is I puffy painted onto some, so I picked a font that I liked, and I printed it out really large, kind of the size that I wanted, and then I puffy painted on it so that I would have some kind of a little something to go under the embroidery to kind of keep it in form, and I really like the way that has turned out. And so I am just embroidering through this, and my guess is I'll finish this in the next couple days. And then I have the 2 other blank stockings. You can sort of see them right here on the couch behind me. So I will do Wes's and mine, and then I will go ahead and put these away. I actually did take down Christmas this weekend. I put the rest of the decorations away, but I wanted to finish these because I know what will happen is next year I'll go to pull out Christmas and set it up, and then I'll be upset if they're not completely finished, and I have to do more work and whatnot, and then I'll have to rush right before Christmas. And so I thought January would be kind of the perfect time to do a little stitching. And the thing I like about this is that for whatever reason, stitching uses slightly different muscles in my arm than some of my other crafts do. So it's a great way to take a break from knitting and spinning, is to sit and do a little bit of embroidery. So I have not gotten back to my sewing machine. It is not that I can't. I actually took the sewing machine and the quilt back out and set it up out there. But this weekend I just decided to sit on the couch and I read books, and we stayed snowed in. We didn't go anywhere, and we watched TV, and I knit and did all the crafts, and it was absolutely lovely. And I was so happy to finish some things. It really started the year off right for me. And so I'm kind of on a motivation. I'm doing a little bit of decluttering. I'm doing a little bit of kind of budgeting and trying not to buy for the next month or 2 so that I can kind of take stock of what I have and what I need or where I think I want to go. And so, like I said, I have just set up some goals for myself for the next couple months, and it feels really good to kind of be back on track and starting fresh. And you know, we'll see where I am in a couple months. I may go back and completely change my mind, but for now I'm just gonna take the motivation I've got and work through some projects. So thank you for hanging with me. I know I talk, I saw there was a comment on one of my recent podcasts that I talk fast. I do. I apologize. On YouTube, you can actually adjust the speed of any video that you are watching. If you go into the little gear control, you can change it so you can speed it up or you can slow it down. So I apologize if I am too fast. I get excited and I just start talking and away I go. So I hope that you have a lovely couple weeks ahead, or a lovely week ahead until I see you again. I hope that where you are, your weather is temperate, or that you are cozy indoors and safe from harm's way. And I wish you a lovely cup of tea and happy knitting, spinning, and sipping, and I'll see you next time. Bye.